There we are. Make sure we're recording. Okay. And 3, 2, 1. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Talking with Janice. It's me, your host, Janice McLean DeLoatch. This evening, I am joined by an amazing, legendary, record and respected. Let me do it again. Sorry.
Okay.
So this is clear. Okay. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Talking with Janice. It's me, your host, Janice McLean DeLoatch, and today I am joined by Joaquin Dean. He is the legendary and globally respected figure, also one of the partners and CEO of Ruff Ryders Entertainment. Welcome, my guest, Mr. Joaquin Dean.
How you doing, Miss Janice? How you been? Everything good?
Everything is okay. It's coming along. Thank you so much for being here with me today.
You're welcome.
So here's a little bit about your background. You're a native of the Bronx, a legendary and globally respected figure within the hip hop community as the founder and CEO of Ruff Ryders Entertainment that you built alongside your brother Darren B. Dean and your sister Siobhan Dean in 1988. Currently, you have created an independent platform that assists in developing several R&R entities while continuing to build a long-established global brand. Mr. Dean's influence and extensive knowledge play an integral role in supporting the community with his nonprofit, Ruff Ryders to the Rescue. It is a community foundation which will support youth and music-based programs while you're also managing a record label, and you also own a multi-platinum recording studio, and you had a film division. I did not know that about you. That's really cool. We're going to talk about that. So let me just give everybody a little bit of background. In 2020, the Ruff Ryder Chronicles was released, and also a streaming radio station, Ruff Ryders Radio. Mr. Dean also oversees 400 plus Ruff Ryders lifestyle members, which include motorcycle chapters worldwide. Wow. At its pinnacle, Ruff Ryders went on to release 5 label compilation products that consisted of such artists as Eve, Locks, Swiss Beats, DMX, Cassidy, and so on. Welcome again, my guest, Joaquin Dean.
Janice, you summed it up, man. You summed it all up just now. You just put it all in perspective.
Yeah, you've been busy. You've been working for a minute.
I mean, I call it work love.
Yeah.
You gotta love what you do, and you gotta stay working and trying to make the world a better place. You know why you here.
Well, we're going to get started with our questions, and thank you for that. I have to tell you, your whole swag over there is looking really, really, you're on point. So yay for you. We definitely going to talk about the motorcycles, but first, let's get into tell me a little bit about Ruff Ryders to the Rescue, your new foundation. What's that about?
Well, I got this, my sister started the Ruff Ryders to the Rescue in 2000. And basically I picked, she had other things to do. So she, shout out to Siobhan, she started the Ruff Ryders to the Rescue Foundation. I came in the last couple of years to reintroduce the Ruff Ryders to the Rescue. My mother is working with me as executive director in the Ruff Ryders to the Rescue, Stephanie Reed, and shout out to them that's working with me and with the Ruff Ryders to the Rescue Foundation. And we, we have programs. We have a couple of curriculums. So, one of the curriculums is called Community Watch. Community Watch is a 24-hour watch program that helps protect urban residents in the communities. That's troubled areas. So basically, We have a 4-point system that when we come into a city, we pretty much just have like the guardian angels. We like the guardian angels. So
Okay.
we have all the trouble area, the 4 points of the trouble area in the city. We have people that actually help, we call interrupters, incredible messages that actually we have from the community to volunteer to work with the people in the community, such as the youth that's have like, that's having problems within the community, having,
Okay.
under violence and things like that. We come to mediate that situation, as well as we get to mediate the police, because the police that it comes into our cities and our urban communities, they pretty much, some of them is from other communities that don't understand our culture. So when we on the scene, we don't really have too much problems with the youth or the police, because the police see us, they actually respect the process. So the process is basically we mediate with the police and the people in the community, so the youth don't get caught up. They don't have that clash. So we in Mount Vernon, New York, right now.
Hmm.
We in Yonkers, Mount Vernon, Rochester, and Newburgh.
Okay.
So we started in those 4 points as the cities in New York. We started in those areas right now, but we basically mediate the police. We make sure the police is and the people in the community is being attended to. We also our interrupters, they're not just interrupters, they're like outreach workers. So when they on ground, they pretty much we have resources. So we have resources on, like, this is my shift. I meet kids, and they need a job. We help them get a job through outreach
Okay.
places to get them jobs on the construction, or if they want to get in the music business, we help them get in, meet people from that. So we have our interrupters have resources and information. We also help with the senior citizens, any domestic cases that come through on my shift or anybody's shift. We pretty much can, help them find a safe house, or just give them the support. So the main thing of this whole program in Community Watch is to be there for the community. See, so we forgot that, you know, um, we so busy living our life. The community is actually, the youth is out there, finding their own way, and we're not out there to really support them through some of they issues. So we find time in our day to go out there. Like today I went out there,
And let
and
me just
we just put
clarify,
put time in.
who's we, if you don't mind? Sorry.
We is the interrupters, the
Okay.
volunteers.
All
So
right.
it's volunteers and recruiting. So we recruit people in the city. So we have it's a minimum of 24 to 48 interrupters per city. And
Okay.
so
Wow.
in the 4 points of those cities, in the 4 points of the trouble areas, we mediate in that city. And we also be mentors too. So the mentors, we also have interrupters that mentor 20 or 30 kids in each one point of those areas. So we have a mentoring program that we do with the youth too. So when I say we, I'm talking about the interrupters that's on ground, that's called incredible messengers, that have the relationship in the community, that works with the youth and the people in the community, that has respect in the community.
Okay. Let's tell everybody a little bit about just, I want to do some background and some just some history, and we're going to come back to that. But that is really, really, really good information, and I really appreciate that. Now let's talk a little
Thank
bit
you.
about Ruff Ryders Records. Um, would you tell me a little bit about what inspired you to be a part of the music industry?
Well, the music industry, I've always been around music all my life, because I was born in the Bronx. I was born in hip hop, basically. I don't know if you Kool Herc is Kool Herc. I lived in the same building as Kool Herc. He's the pioneer of hip hop. So we was really young when we got into we was born into hip hop, and we didn't even know it. And many years later, what happened is I got into it was I was living in I was working in Mount Vernon, New York. I used to live in Mount Vernon, New York, and basically I had a conversation with Heavy D, rest in peace. I don't know if you know
Yeah.
Heavy D.
Yes.
And Heavy D, I grew up with him, and he was a good friend of mine. And he came to the block on Third and Third with Shabazz restaurant. And I remember when he was just a regular guy around the way, and he's on TV and he's doing all these great things. He comes to the restaurant and I'm out there standing there with my guy Tip. And I asked him, he pulls up in these white cars, these Benzes and stuff, and he get out and I asked him, one question, basically, I'm trying to get off these streets. I need a word of advice, or what can I do to get on? And he said, he told me in layman, he just said, basically, he said, you get an artist you believe in, you make hits and the industry come to you. And then my man Tiny gave me, I had told him we need an artist. And right there on the spot, Tiny had a cassette, a DMX cassette in his pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And so I took the cassette and he gave it to Heavy. Heavy said, this is your first artist. And from there, it was when our rodeo started. I was out working. I went out there to see
Okay.
DMX. I started working with DMX and it was sky's the limits from there.
Yeah. And you've have had and still have, I'm guessing that some of them are still working with you with Ruff Ryders. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
You have, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And
So DMX, we just finished the DMX album. Swiss, me, my brother, we worked with X out in California during the verses to finish up his album. So he'd be having an album coming soon. So that's a beautiful thing. So we're looking forward to doing that. We also are about to launch some a young rider, the next generation, new millennium. So we have a record company and a music company and a membership company called Young Riders that'll
okay.
be launched for the new millennium for kids from 18 to 25 and under to actually be part of the new wave of music. So that's going to be something that is coming through the pipelines along with the Ruff Ryder launch for DMX.
Tell me a little bit about, you said get an artist that you really believe in. And I love DMX and I love Eve and Swiss Beats and oh my gosh, the Locks, it's
They love
funny.
you too. They love you too.
I love you
Everybody
guys. I
loves
love
you.
you. And
Yeah,
it's
they love you.
interesting. I did a post a couple weeks ago about it was my salute to hip hop artists and just different people that I had met through the years who were rap artists, and because I've always been really interested in rap music from a business perspective, because the shows that I do primarily are about small business and entrepreneurship. And I find that most rap artists or people that are in that industry, and when I say that industry, I mean rap artists, hip hop music, are really sharp business people. And so, I look at LL Cool J, and I look at Puffy, and I look at Jay-Z. These guys are really very bright business people as well. And you built this whole entertainment conglomerate, excuse me, from the ground. And so I love to talk about hip hop and I love the history of it. Sometimes, though, I am a little bit, as a female, I do get a little concerned about why some of the adjectives that are used to describe us are used. And strangely enough, why women just like, we're sitting there, we're singing the lyrics and we're rapping to the songs right along with it, even though we know it's derogatory, and maybe at one point it was, all in fun. Don't worry, I'm not going to put you on the spot. I'm not going to ask you the female stuff. We're not going to get into that. But I wanted to mention it in that it's just, I find that you guys are really creative. So I want to know, what's your creative process like?
I mean, really, basically, when you grow up in an environment that has certain type of mindsets, like I grew up from nothing to something. When you're in the struggle, you out there in the streets, you have minds of alike, and we all probably have a certain way, a certain swag we move. We was probably taught by the wrong people how to how to survive, right? On many ways. And so in some level it goes into our music. We pretty much, we come from the struggle. We talking about cursing and we do curse. We do a lot of things, but it is something that we represent when as we growing. Now we get older, we don't really do that as much because we pretty much
Right.
seasoned, right?
Yes.
It's when you're not seasoned and you learning how to survive in the spot, and you live what you know. And that's where the difference comes in. So you might have a person over here that really haven't had that type of upbringing where that they had to scrap for everything that they needed to survive,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And then you have this, they went to school, they had the proper parents, they had the whole system set for them. And this crew here didn't have that. And they didn't, so we have to figure out how to make it happen. And so we live and learn, we live and learn. And sometimes it repeats itself over and over again because what we need to do is bridge the gap for the new generation to break the cycle, since we already know what's the end results. Plus, when we working with other systems outside of our culture, they they insist to have certain type of music, right? So when you have a cat that comes from the streets and all these artists that's out in the strip clubs and they party and having fun, but the only way you can really, if you put out a positive song, it's not as supported from the as much as it's a negative. So now we like in a conflicting situation
Right.
where we not cool if we don't put out the hardcore grimy music, right? So we have to find balance with it. But in our grimy music, it's still a message, right? It's still a message that's put in it. So we have music, a message. We able to relate and touch the souls of the people, minus the hardcore, the cursing and all the other stuff, because we understand the culture. So it's really just a mindset, and really it's who's promoting it. So we have to come together more and be able to be more in control of our destiny, and not have other systems outside of our system promote the negative more than the positive.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And so here's something else that I wonder. I wonder about a lot of things. And when you look at Black Lives Matters right now, I mean, Black lives have always mattered. Um, people are like, well, we have all these other people who are really involved in the movement right now. But I think a lot of that was because people had time to be involved. They were at home. And I often wonder, when you have, and I'm really speaking about Black leaders, Black business people, Black millionaires right now, who could really pool their resources collectively and create so many paths of revenue streams for, and this is not that I am discriminating against anybody else. I feel like we can advocate for ourselves. And sometimes I wonder why we don't do that. And I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. Now, you don't have to answer it, but I really want to understand
You
that
got
thinking.
you got different strokes for different folks. You got political agendas. Everybody have different relationships. So, say for instance, you might be a rich black entrepreneur, but your partner is hypothetically somebody, a Jew or something, and they have certain things that they want you to represent. Now, for you to keep your radio station or everything going, they financing you in the whole nine, and now you starting to talk about the Black community, to embrace them and give them the resources you have, but these guys might not be really cool with that. So that might be a conflict. Or you might have a good Jew that might just say, yeah, great, let's invest into it. Or another culture. So what happens sometimes is these guys are tied into different systems that actually don't fully represent the culture properly. And it might be a conflict for that particular Black successful entrepreneur, right? So you're on the front end is very successful, but on the back end you have partners that demand certain rules that you need to stand by. So it's hard. Sometimes it's hard for them to actually come together to work with the masses because that's going to probably be a conflict of interest with them. So you have some of those scenarios that go on out there. Now, what we need to be able to do is to build a community system, a community that actually just separate from all this politics and just have a cohesive organization of people coming together like we have built our brotherhood and sisterhood. So we built a Rough Rider lifestyle organization for the last 20 years. We have thousands of members all over the world, and we have 400 to 500 chapters. So what we do with the organization, we do charitable work, we do all kinds of things. We raise money within the community, and and it lives forever. So we have to build community wealth instead of individual wealth. So we build individual wealth all day long, but when it comes to the community, so we have built our Rough Rider lifestyle community that actually is a breathing organ that we do over 60 to 100 annual events a year that actually is charitable. That since the COVID-19, they kind of threw us off a little bit.
Wow.
But we've been doing this for 19, 20 years, and it wasn't really for show. It was for family. Mm-hmm. And so once we get back to the grassroots of being family and doing things together as a family and raising money for the community and make it a community act instead of an individual act of wealth, then we'll be a better off community.
Yeah, wow. That is really, 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 that's great comment, great thought. You really thought about that. And I thank you for thinking about the community. I mean, and what you're saying is really, really, really true. And I didn't really look at it like that. Right. Building great communities. I guess that is the place to start first, Wow.
Yeah, we gotta build our foundation that we can pass the baton to generations so that we don't have to worry about the rich black excellent people and this, that, and this. That's cool. They have their commitment, they do their thing, but we have a community that we built internally that lives forever. And that's basically what we have to do. So we have platforms to be able to support our youth and our families community-wise. Mm-hmm. And that's the whole logistics of this whole thing of Rough Riders to the Rescue, is to build family back up. Okay. and make things happen for entrepreneurs, because we also building entrepreneurship. So yes. that's
let's talk about thing. That.
And financial literacy.
Okay, tell me a little bit about what you're doing to help the entrepreneurs, because that's my lane. So I really want to hear about that.
So the entrepreneur program is pretty much, we have a music program and we have other curriculums that it's mass other curriculums, but we have a music program that we develop for 12 weeks. It's a 12-week program that actually deals with 20 kids from 4 points of the trouble areas, mm-hmm. right? And those kids discover the hottest artists in their community. Those kids have a showcase, and after they have a showcase, mm-hmm. they basically pick the hottest artists from the showcase for the 4 points of the city. Then 12-week campaign starts. Those kids that we will have in the showcase and in the 20 kids will be the kids that will be set up an entrepreneurs program. Okay. So they would be learning how to set up their own business, get their own trademark, learn how the music industry runs, how to become an engineer, how to showcase, how to market, how to do the social media, how to, in that 8-week window, how to exactly become their own boss and their own CEO, right? Mm. In the meanwhile, they are developing a content, and the content is those artists that they picked. They will be grooming and developing those artists for 8 weeks and making an album or a compilation on them. When they finish in the 8 weeks, they will have a mixed and mastered album, compilation album, to push out for We Are the Streets, who's next in Mount Vernon, right?
Mhm.
And that will get pushed out. When that goes out in the 12 weeks, they shoot their videos and everything, and then we'll launch their careers from that for that 12-week program. We'll launch the careers of the youth in that community. In the process of that, they will be learning financial literacy, right? How to manage their day-to-day business.
Okay.
So we will partner with an organization or two, and that they will come in and do financial literacy classes with them every week until they get and all the way through their project. And that's how we will start the one of the ways that we'll do our entrepreneur program and our music program to embrace the youth to be able to launch into their career
Well,
by helping the local artists in their neighborhood as well as
I
they self.
certainly would love to be a part of that. If you wouldn't mind, because this is, and I also want to get the word out to people about that, because I don't know if you know this or not, but I do the radio program on Radio One Network on Wednesdays, and we talk about small business and entrepreneurship. I also give people advice and resources to help sustain, grow, develop, and move their businesses along to the next level. And so once you send the information, I certainly will make sure I get that word out to people, because that's very important to me. And if I can help in any way in being a part of that, I certainly would love to do so.
Yeah,
Now,
we need you, Janice. We need you to be involved with that. That'll be dope. We will send you some information more on that.
yes, I absolutely would love to do that, certainly. As a matter of fact, I just got tapped to be part of a committee that is working on trademark reformation through the United States Patent and Trademark Office, because some people, I've been very vocal over the years about the rules on the books for trademarks being outdated and how they are skewed toward minorities and people of color and women and poor people. And so I think I could really help you a lot in that area. So that definitely is something we should talk about.
Yes,
All
that'll
right.
be dope.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
we could do that.
so tell me about the motorcycles. I got to hear about that. Tell me about the Rough Ride, because I'm looking at you and I'm like, I bet you, I bet you like you getting it going down that road. So tell me about
We've
the
been
Rough Ride.
riding.
Yes.
What you want to know? We're a lifestyle. We're a way of life. Loved by few, hated by many, respected by all. We Rough Riders. We live this by heart. We love what we do. We got bikes in every city, any city that you want. You see those black vests with the silver R's. That's us. We've been around just lurking, watching the show. Enjoying everybody, have fun doing their thing. Now it's we deal with all walks of life. We do stunts. We do a lot of things. We ride any type of bike. We got hogs. We got custom bikes. We're gonna be doing a We Are the Street or We Are the Community showcase soon for our bike clubs and stuff
Okay.
in different cities. So you're gonna be doing a car and bike show. We also got dog division. The bikes is our first love. That's where we first started. So we into the bike world. Any bike you like, we have. We in that zone. That's our thing. You ride.
No, but you come get me. I ride with you.
All right, you safe with me, yo. You safe with me because I'm gonna come through in a high booster. I'm into that.
Okay.
I bring the high boosters your way. I'll be coming through DC. We've been riding through there. So we got members in every city. I can have somebody knock on your door right now. Make sure you want to take a ride. You just
Hi.
let me know. We could teach you how to ride. We got some honeys out there. Honey, shout out to Honey. She's in Maryland, between Maryland and DC. That's Honey is dope. She's one of us. Shout
Okay.
out to
Hey,
Honey.
honey.
Honey's on that side. We got a lot of soldiers and soldiers over there. But we got bikers everywhere. The lifestyle is pretty much a family. We do a little bit of everything. They have
Okay.
60 to 100 events every day. We doing something on the bike life, man. It's really epic. I mean, the beauty about the bike life culture and it's not about anything but family. It's about It's about, like, it's not like when's the last record you drop, or what's the last car you have, or it
Yeah.
ain't nothing about all that stuff. It's really just
Right.
about coming out and getting together and
Yeah.
having fun
And
together
just
and
having
riding
fun.
together
Yeah.
and enjoy life. So, that's what we do when we on the highways. When we traveling city to city, we go to visit each other and we enjoy and embrace each other. So that's what we're the only label. And let's get this down to a science. We the only label at the height of our career license our brand to the community. And that's how we was able to birth Rough Rider lifestyle.
Okay.
So we license our brand for the bike community, Rough Rider bike community, to actually do events, sell merchandising for the last 25 years, to be able to sell merchandising, do events, and use the name of the brand while we is in our peak in our fame of doing this thing, right? Now we have 20 years later, we have family everywhere,
Hmm.
right? And so we license our brand to the
Okay.
to the to the hood.
That's smart. Okay.
And so that's how we do things, because we feel everybody should be eating on every level
Hmm.
when we come out to work, right?
Mm.
And so,
Okay.
that's one thing that's done. So now you have over 3, 4, 500 chapters worldwide and still growing. Now we're
Wow.
gonna duplicate that and give it to the new millennium and let them have some fun with it now. That's gonna be called the Young Riders.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
and just so people are clear, we don't just, get old and go sit in the chair somewhere and do, like I'm not doing that. So I don't
Yeah,
know
you're
what's
gonna ride
happening
with
in your,
us.
yeah.
We're
um,
gonna put yeah, we're gonna ride with you. We can come out there to DC or Maryland when the weather break. We come that way.
Please do. I would absolutely love that. I mean, I've never really been on the bikes, all that, but I'm willing. I'm willing to do it. So it's no problem here. Please do. I would love for you to
once
do that.
once you get once you ride, you don't go back. Like, you're gonna love it. Like,
Okay.
once you kill a fear, and then it's a freedom being on a bike. It's like not like being in a car being confined.
Okay.
You in a bike, you was just you in a bike in the air. You know what I'm saying? And you just really enjoying every fresh breath of air you get.
Okay.
And you're gonna enjoy this ride. Trust me.
Now, so in the interest of time, we need to go ahead and wrap this up. So tell everybody real quickly, what is up next for you and how can people support your Rough Riders to the Rescue Foundation? And if people want to reach out to you and contact you or contact your foundation to support, how do they do that?
Yes. So you go to the website, the Rough Riders, #2, therescue.org. And that's where you can contact us. You can sign up for whatever city you're in. You could become a volunteer. You can also join up to be an interrupter or be part of all the other programs that's there. You know, we appreciate you go there and really start to, get involved. We also had a 24-hour hotline that you can go to. You can definitely check that out, 929-529-6828. You can actually go there, and you can go to roughrider.com. Go there. You can go to rrlifestyle.com. That's where the bikers are. We getting ready to have the youngriders.com. So you're going to be going there. Just get ready. Like, let's get ready for the movement. It's not a movie. It's a movement. So it's not a movie. It's a movement. So
Yeah.
just get prepared to come on out, and let's have some fun this summer. Let's enjoy life. We do have the Jails No Good coming out uh in Harlem. We're gonna be doing it over there on 116th Street on April 18th. And then
Okay.
we're gonna be doing Jails No Good all over in every city we go to. We're gonna
Okay.
be doing it Juneteenth. So that's coming up June. And May we doing the Jails No Good. So we just like starting the
Wow.
process, just starting the process.
Yeah.
And then since we in every city, we perfecting our craft first before we launch into every city. And that should be real soon.
Wow. It is my pleasure to talk with you today, Mr. Joaquin Dean,
My
Rough Riders
pleasure too.
Entertainment, and Rough Riders to the Rough Riders to the Rescue Foundation. There it is. I love it. I love it. Oh,
Rough Riders to the rescue, ride or die, they ride for life. So we don't say
oh,
ride or die now, we just say ride for life, right?
yes, yes. It has
So
been
I
my
appreciate
pleasure.
you, Janice.
I'm sorry,
Go ahead.
Mr. I said, my pleasure to talk with you today.
My pleasure to talk to you too on a Sunday. It's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, now hold tight. Guys,
All right.
that wraps up this edition of Talking with Janice with me, your
Salute.
host, Janice McLean DeLoatch, and my guest, Joaquin Dean from Ruff Ryders Entertainment. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, Dennis.